It's like 10 degrees Celsius at night, but still they don't wear that much, stuff. So like we're surprised about that.
Yeah, no, we need our head testing sometimes, I think. Hi, I'm Nick, and I'm joined by Radwimps for the latest in Enemies in Conversation series. How's it going today?
Good. Thank you very much for having us. We had a show last night. It was amazing.
Yeah, it was your first UK show in quite a long time.
In 8 years.
Wow.
Yes. We got old.
What was the vibe like after so long away from the UK?
I mean, it was like over our expectation, way over. The crowds were amazing. The shouts and the scream and the dancing and the cheers, and we just loved it. It was the night that totally felt like we don't want to end.
Have you noticed much difference in audiences from the UK compared to North America, where you've just been on tour in Japan?
Okay. Yeah, we had North American tour last month. The UK audience, they were more なんかとってもわかりやすくエネルギーがあった。なんかとってもわかりやすく表現してくれたってか。The audience were like shouting and screaming before the show starts, and like we hear that voice in the backstage, and like that, really motivated us. And like after we got on the stage, I mean, there were like even more power and like energy. So like, yeah, it was really a great time, going back and forth, the energies.
You played at Roundhouse, which is a cool venue, because although it's big, it feels like everyone's got a good spot. There's no kind of bad spot in the venue.
Exactly. We can see every single one of the people, and like, yeah. I heard about the history about the place, Roundhouse, like the Radiohead played, and like Led Zeppelin, and like David Bowie, and like there were so many great artists. It felt like, yeah, we were in that, same group, and like it cheered us up. It was amazing. Yeah.
Are there any UK acts in particular that you're a fan of or feel inspired by?
For me, Oasis and Radiohead. Yeah, that was like two big artists that gave us influence a lot for me. Mm-hmm. Especially Oasis, when I was like around 13, 14, when I started playing guitar. Their music, their melody, and the chord progression, gave me so many influences, how they touch people's heart, people's feeling with their melodies and the chord progression.
So did you kind of learn to play guitar by playing some of their songs? Was that?
Exactly.
Wow.
Uh-huh. Like
which ones?
Definitely, maybe. I mean, like I can sing most of Oasis songs. Don't Look Back in Anger, Live Forever, like whatever, or like, yeah, Don't Go Away. I mean, like those in those era, yeah, I used to sing a lot.
Were they big in Japan in the 90s? Did they break through in quite a big way?
Yeah, I think so. Not like every single one of the people noticed Oasis, but there's some, rock kids in the classroom. So like those kind of people were really into those UK rock scenes.
You were meant to be touring in 2020, and obviously COVID happened, and you couldn't. Like, how frustrating was that for you as a band to be grounded when you wanted to do this big tour?
It was a huge shock for us, because like we planned that tour for more than like a year and a half, I think, from maybe 2018, around that time. And there's so many things to do to hold the show, world tour. So all the staff created everything. We had so many conversations between the promoters, and finally, like 3 or 4 months before the world tour, just the COVID happened, and like it all vanished. Yeah, it was really depressing. We weren't sure what to do at that moment. Like maybe most of the artists did. So like, yeah, but it was really tough time to get over it and like to move forward. Mm-hmm.
Does it kind of only feel like you're kind of getting over it now because you're finally getting out and doing what you were meant to be doing, 3 years
ago? 3.5 years.
3.5 years.
Yeah. We were supposed to have that tour when we were 34, and we're turning 38 almost. That's a huge difference for us, but yeah. But still, we're so honored and happy to be here finally.
When you're on the road, do you have a kind of set routine, like each day, how it goes? Do you have like rituals before the show?
I don't get out from the hotel that much. I mean, I just don't want to screw up or like mess the stage. So like, I just want to be really secure and like, to have my body, in a good situation. So, how about you guys? なんか習慣ある?
Tour two?
Yeah. He gets a lot of drinks. Outside.
Yeah.
Yes. You're
Yeah.
enjoying, right?
Yeah.
なんか。
散歩よくするかも。
ああ、なるほど。
街をよく散歩して、昨日も一昨日も2時間ぐらいハイドパークぐるっと回ったり。すごい良かった、ハイドパーク。
Did you see the Serpentine, the like lake in the middle?
ありました。いや、ケンジントン、インフォルトケンジントン？
いや、なんかハイドパークの真ん中にあるらしい。ああ、そうなんだ。
なんか鳥、めちゃくちゃ大きな鳥がいたりとか、なんかアヒルが子供を連れて歩いてたりとか、なんかすごい平和な。
動物が結構いいんだよね。
リスもいっぱいいて。
People swim in that lake. It looks filthy and
Really?
freezing, but people do swim in it. Yeah, there's a swimming pool.
Not in this season, right?
I think they probably do.
Really? I mean, like how they wear only like t-shirts and like, you as well, but I mean, like it's like 10 degrees Celsius at night, but still they don't wear that much, stuff. So like we're surprised about that.
Yeah,
Very
no,
much.
we need our head testing sometimes, I think. I'm dressing
We
as if it's-
brought, a down coat and stuff.
Your most recent album, which came out in November, is the soundtrack for Makoto Shinkai's film, Suzume. How did the collaboration work? I know you've worked with him twice before, but like when he gets in touch with a new project, do you get the whole screenplay or does he kind of just explain the concept to you?
What was the first time? I think it was 2020, around March, that he first texted me the whole script about Suzume. So it was like three years ago, and he just send it to me and he says nothing about it, nothing particular. Like, will you please make some music on it or anything? He just wanted to, how I felt. So like I kind of like texted him back how I felt about the script. Since I first received that script, it really makes me feel that I want to make a music to it. And, the first impression of what I felt. So I kind of like just started working on it. And that time was actually the particular time the whole COVID thing went and like the whole world tour canceled and stuff. So like we were just packed at our, houses and studios. So like it was a good timing for, just create something focused on, something else rather than the tour and stuff. So like we just started working on the theme song for the Suzume.
And you started working before you'd seen any visuals, just off the script?
Nothing.
Wow.
Well, the past two movies as well. We don't have nothing, the visually. Because like animation, it takes actually 2.5 years to make, the visuals. It's a lot of work. So like it's only the script and the words that have, that we can have actually to build the creation.
Do you find it hard to work like that? I guess you're kind of used to it now if it's the third time you've done it. Is it a very different process to writing your own songs?
Exactly. I mean, like the first time we created Your Names, it was like, can we have some more ideas or like, some hints? Working on it for like 2 years and finally it gathered with the movie actual visual. It's something you won't even imagine. Something that we made unbelievable that, it matches.
Why do you think you work so well with him, with Shinkai? Like I think I've got a quote that he said that himself and the band are two wheels of the same bicycle.
He said that?
Yeah, I found
Really?
it. Yeah, which I thought in an interview, I thought that was quite interesting, like analogy.
Wow, I'm so happy to hear that. Yeah, so since he gave us the script really at the beginning of the creation of the animation, he kind of like gets some ideas from the music that I made. And he kind of like recreate and like rewrite the script as well. Because like there's 3 years or like 2.5 years in advance of this, like, it's coming out. So it's like going back and forth for the ideas. And it's really, I think it's a really pure system of like creation, having a collaboration with other people's. And it takes a lot of time, but it's really worth it.
It sounds almost like a conversation between the script and the music in a way, if it's going back and forth.
Yeah. Exactly. Because like, if it's a live action movie, the whole live action, I mean like the whole scene is already given to you, right? Before, when you work on the music. But since it's animation, there's so many timings that you can recreate, like, you can add some ideas. And actually he even makes the cuts on the music, the sequence. And like, so sometimes it turns out to be like more kind of like a music video for some scenes, but yeah, it's really interesting.
It's quite amazing when you see the finished film, like the final, it must be quite
That's
powerful.
The timing, everything, okay. It's so worth it.
Yeah, all that work.
All the, struggling and like all the, everything.
The theme song features a female singer, Tawaka. Why did you want to have a different voice on there, and how did you go about finding her in particular?
We've been working since Your Name, and like there are so many songs that I sing in the movie. We really needed some new, very new voice that really fits into this Suzume world. We auditioned, we looked for TikToks and like Instagrams, and like we searched all over all those SNS, and there was this high school girl that was like singing in her room, in her closet, because like she didn't want it to get angry from their mother. So, and when we finded her, Shinkai-san, and we said she's the one. She knew nothing about like music industry or getting debut or like anything. I mean, she was just singing for herself, and like she loved what she does, and like we needed that kind of like soul in the voice, and she totally matched the song.
How old is she then?
She was 18 and she's 20 right now.
A kind of amazing way for her to start her career.
I know, yeah. Yeah, actually, so she ended up making a record in our label right now. So like, yeah, we're making some new songs right now.
How would you say this soundtrack's different from the previous two that you've made?
The other two was basically from really, how do you say? 現代音楽的なアプローチで作っていて、今回新海さんは結構、あまり時代性を問わないような、古くからあるような音、もしかしたらずっと存在してるかもしれないような音だったりとか、まああとはすごい土着的な音だったりとかをこう求めていて、だからなるべくロックバンド的な音だったりとか、こうギター、ドラム、ベースっていうよりかは生の音で表現できるような楽器をメインにまずは作り始めましたね。
The band's been going, as I understand it, for 22 years now. Why do you think, this is a big question, why do you think the band's endured? Why has it lasted so long? Sometimes bands don't always don't stay together for 22 years.
I know. Yeah, amazing. But definitely, I think the fans connects us still, because like even last night, the audience, how they react to our music, I mean, like it really tightens, our relations as well. Because like if there's no one who listens to our music, I mean, like we totally broke up like 20 years ago, maybe. Yeah, because like of course we love our music, but we can't just keep making music only for that. And it's always the audience, and it's always someone who collaborates, maybe Shinkai-san as well, who, really needs our music or like needs our ideas to what they create. if something really interesting comes out from that collaboration, it really, feels like it's worth living. It's worth, existing.
Are there any artists in particular you'd like to collaborate with in the future? Is there like a wish list?
Actually, there are a couple of artists, foreign artists, who making some songs together right now. But I'm not supposed to tell that.
It's too early. Okay, fair enough.
But hopefully, I'd love to do it.
Feels like collaborations between bands and artists now is much more common than 22 years ago. It used to be such a big deal to have like someone featuring on your record, whereas now it's kind of like any person from any genre can collaborate with anyone, really.
Actually, in Japan, it's still like a rare thing to collaborate with other artists. But yeah, I think our band could kind of like break up those kind of habit.
What are you most proud of in those 22 years?
Well, last night was actually one of the greatest moments too. Yeah, like playing in UK in front of like 3,000 people, a sold out show. We never expected that happening, when we started the band, when we were 15. Yeah, actually we're living in a dream right now. This European tour and the North American tour, a sold out tour. Yeah, it's way beyond what we expected at the beginning for me.
I guess if you'd been told when you were 15 that that's what you'd be doing in 22's time, you'd have been like,
it's totally bullshit. It's a lie. But, it didn't happen in a day or like a month or a year. It took 22 years, and like we've been focusing on creating interesting music, and like, we love music. We love creating music, and like we love creating something new and like what people appreciate. So it's nothing happened in a day or a year. It's just what we continue doing, and like, it's like a reward to that 22 years.
When people hear the name Radwimps, what do you want to kind of pop into their head? What do you want the band to stand for?
Weird band. Weird band, maybe. Weird rock lover. Because like, for the first time, from last night, I think there's, a lot of audience who only knew the songs from like the animation, maybe from Shinkai Makoto's film. Obviously, that's not the only songs we have, and like we have this enormous energies of like rock as a rock band song, and like we have this really long session of like the solos and stuff. I can feel the audience that they were surprised how they got surprised, and how they got shocked from those kind of songs as well. So like we don't want to get defined as only like a one word. Yeah, we just want to be creating some new styles and stuff, and we want to be as a band that you can't define as one word.
Amazing. Thanks so much for your time. Thank you.
Thank you very
Cheers.
much.
Thank you.